Hi everyone, this is Heba from My Little Journal, and today I'm excited to set up August in my daily journal. I'm going to start by adding my Passion Planner tabs to August, or my title page. These tabs are perfect if you are creating a daily journal for yourself. I will also be using Studio Calico's Tucker Alpha stamps to stamp out August in the center of my title page. Now, August is back to school. And I didn't want to go like totally back to school, but I love reading books. So I thought I'm going with a book theme. I love this stamp set that I got from Altenew. It has a little couch and a lamp, and I thought it would be fun to stamp the couch and lamp in the corner and then stamp a bunch of open books flying out of the couch and going into August. I just had this vision and I'm going for it. It does work out. It kind of looks like what I envisioned, but I actually like it even more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all my book stamps that have open books, and I'm going to stamp them randomly around my August, and it's going to look like all these books are flying out of the couch. There is no right or wrong way to do this. I'm just filling out the gaps as I go. I did start by filling out these books that I stamped from the first stamp set, but then decided that this is going to take way too long if I keep pulling out ink pads and returning them and all that stuff. So I decided to just go ahead and stamp all the books I wanted to stamp, create that vision, and then I can grab my ink pads and markers to fill them out once I'm done stamping the books. It just saved me some time and it made more sense. Now, you could totally do something like this even if you didn't have open book stamps with your regular like stack of books and things like that. But I felt like the open book stamps made more sense because it's kind of flying out of the couch. So that's why I stuck to open book stamps. Once I'm done, I'm going to color all of this in and it's going to look so good. I really love how my title page turned out. I think this might be my favorite for the year. Let's see, we still have a few more months to go, but I'm really loving and digging this, especially the colors I end up choosing. I just go with some really muted, beautiful colors from close to my heart, and they just fit in really well with the theme and with August. Now, a lot of these book stamps had filler stamps, which I was able to use to color in with my ink pads. But the rest, I'm just going to end up using my Crayola Super Tips and my Tombow markers to color in, like the couch and lamp. They didn't have fillers, so I'm just going to use my markers for that, which I actually like using my markers just because I can kind of add more shadowing and color in more of the details using my markers. But anyways, once I'm done with that, I'm going to grab my favorite gray Tombow marker to add a drop shadow to my August. I will also add my border around my title page, and then I can call it done. Now that I'm done with my title page, we can move on to week 1 in August. I'm going to use this stamp set from the Paper Person shop. It's a calendar stamp set, and I'm going to use it for each week. I'm going to stamp it in the corner. I will add the calendar. This stamp set starts on I think a Sunday, and I don't start my weeks on Sundays. So I decide to trim off Sunday, stamp from Monday to Saturday, and then stamp in the S for Sunday at the end. That way I made the calendar to fit my own needs, because I've been stamping it from, the week starting on a Sunday, and it just doesn't work for me. So anyways, I went ahead and did that little change, and now I'm going to start stamping my days of the week. I'm stamping it with this beautiful blue ink from Close to My Heart, and I really want to keep this week simple because I have different ideas for the weeks. And so I want to throw in some simple layouts as well, because I don't want to overwhelm myself. So once I stamp the days of the week, I'm going to grab the stamp set from the Paper Person shop. It's a number stamp set. It's a nice bold one that you can color in if you wanted to. And I'm going to just use it to add the dates. I love the stamp set because it has like half circles, squares, that you can use to fill out the numbers with. So I'm going to switch out my colors here. I went with a darker blue, and I'm just going to use the little dotted lines. I also use the half circles just to bring in a little bit of color to my numbers. Last week on my channel, I shared a Stationery Pal haul, and I'm going to use some of those stickers that I got in my haul to brighten up my spreads. I'm going to start with this fun pack that I got from Stationery Pal. And by the way, if you haven't seen that video, I will link it up above for you. But I really like this pack. It's all about drinks and different types of drinks. So I thought it would be fun to create little clusters around my spread. I also used the sticky notes that I got in my haul to back up some of the stickers just to give it more of a pop of color. And I like using sticky notes in my daily journal because it doesn't add a lot of bulk. Now, I also want to bring in some black ink, and a great way to do that is just to stamp. So I'm going to end up stamping on one of my sticky notes. I'll even grab my favorite floral stamp from Everyday Explorers just to stamp around my clusters. Again, a great way to bring in a certain color, or if you want to break down the bright colors on your spread, go with some black ink and just stamp a little stamp around your clusters. It really helps mute everything down. I'm going to go ahead, add my border, and then I felt like, I can even add some more stickers to the spread. So I go with smaller stickers. This is also from my haul, and I'm going to add a few vases here and there just for the heck of it. I really love stickers, and I tend to have way too many stickers that I don't use, and this is a great spot to use up those stickers. So anyways, I am almost done. I'm just going to add my gray lines to my spread. I get asked about this gray marker all the time. I have it always linked in the description box for you. Now let's move on to our second week in August. I'm going to be using this Ali Edwards stamp, and it says Homebody. I'm going to stamp that in the corner, and right underneath it, I will be stamping the calendar. Like I said earlier, I'm going to try to remember to add my calendar to each spread. Once I stamp my calendar, I'm going to start stamping the days of the week. So for this week, I thought it would be fun to play with my label stamps. I have this label stamp from Studio Calico, and they're all hand-drawn labels. They're really, really cute. So I'm going to use one of them. It had like a scallop edge. I'm going to use that one to stamp in each box. I'm going with boxes this week. Again, trying to keep things simple just so I can get these spreads done. Once I stamp my labels, I will grab another Studio Calico stamp set to stamp the days of the week. I felt like the shortened days of the week would fit better because I still have to stamp the dates. And I went with a very pretty melon peachy color. Just wanted to brighten things up. And because I always tend to use black ink, I wanted to change it up a little bit. I'm happy that I used this melon color because it really helped brighten things up. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the dates using this number stamp. And I want to use those notepads tabs from Stationery Pal to add a little bit of color in between my boxes. I know I'm going to be using some stickers as well for this spread, so I thought I would do the same and create little clusters using my stickers. This time around, I'm using like plant stickers. I love botanical and plants and all that good stuff, so I thought this sheet would work perfectly for my spread. I'm just going to end up adding it in between my boxes just to bring in some green to my layout. And it just looks so pretty and summery. I can't even explain it. It just looks really good. And I love this sheet of stickers. But anyways, once I add my stickers, I'm going to add my lines. This time around, I'm going to just hand draw them. I'm not going to worry about a ruler or anything like that. I've said this before in my videos in the past, that I don't care if they're wonky. I think it's just faster and easier not to use a ruler. And if they're not perfect, it's not a big deal. Now I'm almost done drawing out my boxes. I'm just going to grab my gray marker to add my gray lines inside the boxes, and then we can call week 2 done and move on to week 3. Now for week 3, I am going with Dutch doors. I haven't done Dutch doors in so long, and one of my members, my Peach members, reminded me of how much I love doing Dutch doors, so I decided to do one for August. This time around, I'm keeping it simple. I'm not doing the tabs. Last time I did tabs when I cut these out, but because I'm trying to not overwhelm myself, I kept it simple and I literally just trimmed my page. Now, because each week has a page on its own, so I can kind of go bold with the days of the week, and I'm using this Paper Person Shop stamp to stamp out the days of the week on each page. Now, for Saturday and Sunday, they're going to be combined on one page, so I went ahead and stamped Saturday and Sunday together. Again, because it's 1 week, I didn't want to keep cutting through because then I would have to figure out how to set up the 4th week. So that's why I put Saturday and Sunday together. Grabbing my calendar stamp again to stamp out the calendar in the corner. And underneath my calendar, I was thinking I should kind of go bold with this. Because I have the space, I went with this large word stamp from Studio Calico. It's more of a travel stamp, so it has go, fly, adventure, wander, all those fun words that you would use to document travel. But I thought it still works for life. So you can say, go and do some kind of adventure and wander. So I'm going to actually create like a little collage of them in the corner. And I love how it turned out. I changed up the colors. I kept with muted colors because I don't know how these spreads are going to end up looking once I add my journaling. And again, because I always use stickers, I didn't want to use bold colors in my stamping and then it's not going to match my stickers, if that makes sense. So anyways, I end up stamping a bunch of words. I'll even grab some of the smaller words and stamp them in black ink. I really love the boldness of this corner. Once I add my journaling, I have a feeling that this might turn out to be one of my favorite spreads in my daily journal. But anyways, once I'm done stamping that, I'm going to grab my Tombow markers to fill out the lines in between the days of the week. This is a great place for you to add the dates and not have to worry about stamping them out. And I just love this day stamp because you have that space to add color and to add whatever you want in between. So you can use it for your dates, for words, whatever the case is. because I didn't create tabs for my Dutch doors, I'm gonna create my own. I'm gonna use the little notepads or the note tabs to create little tabs for my Dutch doors. I just fold them in half, and then I'm gonna grab some stickers to add to it just to make them look cutesy. I love the colors of these note tabs that I picked up from Stationery Pal. And like I said, that's one of the reasons I kept my stamping with neutral colors, is because if I want to end up adding something to my spreads, it's not going to clash. Now, once I added my tabs, I'm going to grab some stickers and add a few stickers to my tabs. And then I'm going to grab this fun stamp set from Everyday Explorers. It's a botanical stamp that I truly love. It's hand drawn and it's beautiful. So I'm going to use this stamp to add some leaves to my spread, and I'll even grab my markers and color some of them in just to bring in some color to the days of the week. And it's just a fun stamp to stamp randomly on my pages. Sometimes when I stamp a lot of leaves like this, I feel like I need to balance it out with words. So I'm actually going to end up using some of the words from the same stamp set to stamp around my leaves, and I'll do second generation stamping so it fades out a little bit. Just feel like it balances everything out. It might not make a difference to a lot of people, but it does for me. So once I stamp like little words like story and document, I'm going to grab my pen, add my lines to the days of the week, and then I'm going to grab my black marker to add a drop shadow to my days of the week. I've mentioned this before. If you add a drop shadow to your stamping and your words, it really makes it look like it's something you wrote out yourself and not stamped. And it just looks really good. So I'm going to grab my black marker and add some drop shadowing to my days of the week. I'll grab my markers to fill in some of the leaves with some color. I tend to not color in every little detail. I just use my markers just to add a pop of color to my leaves. Oh, and I also did color in the days of the week with my favorite gray marker just to make everything pop as well. I'm done with week 3 in my daily journal, and we can move on to week 4. As always, I'm going to start by stamping my calendar in the corner. And this week, I drew out some wonky boxes. I just wanted to have fun with this. And I thought it would be fun to use this Paper Person Shop stamp set. It's a really fun stamp set. It has a little box, and you can finish the box off by stamping the day of the week in the center. So I'm going to end up using that, stamping it for each box that I've drawn out. And then I'm going to use the little days of the week in black ink to fill out that space. Just wanted to have fun with this. Now, these boxes were not big enough for me to stamp the dates in, but I just end up writing them in myself, which I like doing anyway because it saves me time. But once I stamp out the boxes, I can grab the days of the week and stamp them to complete the box. And it's just a fun little way to add the dates and days to my boxes. So my members, my Peach members, always remind me of things that I own and don't use enough of. And one of my peaches reminded me of the stamp set from Studio Calico. It's a really cute stamp set to document your drink. And it had like these little circles that you can fill out and create a tangerine or an orange or something. And I thought it would be so much fun to stamp it randomly in between the boxes and in my boxes to add some color to those boxes. So I start with black ink, and then I'm going to layer the little layered stamp with some colored ink. So I go with some yellow, and I believe I go with some oranges just to fill out the little circles. And I actually really love the simplicity of how the spread turns out. And just by using a circle tangerine stamp, brought in a lot of color. As you can see, I'm just layering my stamps, so it's like a 3-part stamp, and you can kind of start dark and then lighten it up a little bit, and then you get that whole look of a tangerine. It's just a fun little stamp set and an add-on to my spread. Now, once I'm done stamping and filling out my little tangerines, I'm going to add my lines to my boxes. Like I said earlier, they are pretty wonky, so I just hand draw the lines. That way it looks even wonkier, and that's the look I was going for. Once I'm done adding my lines, I'm going to color in the days of the week. So those little boxes, I'm going to go with some yellow marker here just to kind of match my tangerines and my lemons. And then I'm going to add a drop shadow to my boxes with my gray marker. I felt like I wasn't done, felt like I needed a little something to my spread. So I'm actually going to grab that Stationery Pal sticker pack with the drinks, and I'm going to add a few to my boxes. Just felt like this was the perfect space for them. And again, I want to use my stickers and I don't want to overthink it. So I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to add a few little soda pops and milk carton to my little tangerines and my lemons. And I felt like it really helped complete my spread. So I am done with week 4 in August, and we're moving on to the last few days of August. I believe there's 3 days left. So I'm going to start by stamping my calendar in the corner, and then I'm going with some large boxes for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Because it's only 3 days, I can go big on my boxes and have more journaling space. And I also can go big with my day stamps. So I'm using the stamp set from Studio Calico to stamp out Monday through Wednesday. And I love this because it has this little box on the bottom that you can fill out the dates with. And once I'm done stamping the days of the week, I thought it would be fun to use that same stamp set from Studio Calico with the bold words and stamp a few right above the days of the week. I just thought it would be fun to use it again, and I really like how week 3 turned out using the stamp set, so I went with it. But this time around I used some black ink. I'll also grab a stamp set from Everyday Explorers. I forgot the name of the stamp set, but it's like hand-drawn marks, kind of like mixed media, and I thought it would be fun to use it to add lines from the words that I just stamped out to my days of the week, and to also use some of the stamps just to add marks around my days of the week. I was just having fun with this. I thought it would be fun to stamp them randomly, probably come back in and use my marker and color some of them in. These kinds of stamps are usually my go-to types of stamps where I can just kind of play with it, stamp them wherever on my spread, and it's still gonna look good. I want to go ahead and use my ruler to add the lines to my days of the week. I'm also going to create like half boxes in the corner. These boxes gonna hold my currentlies. So what I'm currently reading, eating, doing. I like using these spaces for something like that. So I'm just going to create these boxes and I'll come back to them once I'm done coloring in all the things. I do want to add color to my days of the week. I want to add the dates as well. So I'm going to work on those and then come back to these boxes once I'm done. While I have my markers out, I'm just going to go ahead and color in some of these marks that I added to my spread. I'll also add some drop shadowing to my boxes, drop shadowing to my days of the week. Like I said earlier, it's a great way to make your stamping pop, is just to add some drop shadowing to your letters. It really makes a huge difference. But I'll also decide to grab that stamp set again and fill out some empty spots. Now that I have the lines all set up and my boxes all set up, I can see where I need more stamping. So I'm actually going to grab that stamp set from Everyday Explorers again and just stamp a few to fill in those empty spots. I'm almost done with my layout. I just want to fill out these boxes with some prompts. And I love this stamp set from Everyday Explorers. It has all the prompts you could think of. So I'm going to use that to fill out my boxes. And then basically I'm going to call my layouts done. Don't forget, I'm going to add all the links for everything I use down in the description box for you. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye.